Hello there, Bill. I heard you quit your job at the bank.
That's right, Caesar. I'm a rancher.
Rancher? What kind of animals?
Alpacas.
Oh, wow.
Yes, alpacas live high in the mountains, in high altitudes.
Bill, you live in a skyscraper.
Yes, that's right. But alpacas have beautiful colors, 22 colors exact.
But, Bill, you wear the same black suit every day.
Alpacas are green animals.
Oh, Bill, you drive a Hummer.
Alpacas don't bite. They don't have sharp teeth.
Bill, you're a vampire.
Alpacas are great investments, and they produce lots of wool.
Oh, wool! I need me some wool. I gotta get me some alpacas.
Welcome to CEAZOR Snack Sandwich. Today we're on Mainnet Smart Chain taking a look at Alpaca Finance, leveraged yield farming by the alpacas for the alpacas. It's a pretty fair launch. I'm not going to get into the tokenomics of the alpaca token, but I will talk a little bit about the products that you can use inside this application, and you can take a deeper look at everything and all the details if you are interested in this. So let's swing over to the application by clicking on this button here. So when the place first loads up, we see that this is where we land on the lending page. We can see that this entire protocol has about $1.5 billion inside it, so it's getting adopted, that's for sure. So the first step you could do, the first option you could do is you could lend other people these tokens. You could lend them Alpaca, BNB, BUSD, or ETH tokens. So you can decide which ones you want to lend. The APYs are all here. So you have lending APR, or basically how much people are going to pay you to borrow these tokens. This number changes based on this utilization percentage. The higher the utilization, the higher the percentage, as you can see. Now, the staking APY is when you actually deposit your tokens in here and then you go to stake. So if you click stake, you will end up here and you can stake your token like BNB in here, and you can start earning Alpaca rewards as well. So let's go back to lend. So here on lend, so you see there's staking APR, and then there's the total, which is just the sum of these, and then APY based on the fact if you were to daily harvest your alpaca tokens and sold them for more and stuck them in here. Okay, so you can basically look at this and say, oh, I'm going to get 34% if I put BUSD in here all by itself. And that's pretty good. Now remember that this number will change frequently as utilization goes up and down. So let's go over to what people are doing when they borrow these tokens from you. To do that, we go to right here, farm, click on farm, and we end up here. First thing you'll see is positions that you have open. I have a few open right now. I had some more before, but things went to all-time high, so I closed them, and I'll explain that a little bit later, okay? So when we come down here, we have active pools. Now, basically what this is doing is it's allowing you to borrow some tokens and build LPs on PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap incentivizes these LPs with cake tokens. So this protocol is going to build you some LPs and harvest the cake for you and compound it. So that's basically what this number is. Yield farming is basically the compounding of the cake rewards into more LPs for you. Now, as you can see that it says trading fees unavailable, and so this number could be very different depending on the pair, right? But some of these pairs are very popular, so the trading fees can be up into the hundreds and so forth. They can be quite substantial. But the reason why there's no data is because PancakeSwap went to version 2 and their data setup feeds is not quite working yet. So this number, come and check this when you come back and you're just trying to decide whether or not you want to play around with this product or not. But I've seen, like some of these up in the 1Ks, like the total APR is like 1,500%. So it's pretty respectable. Now these trading fees are still happening. They're still there. It's just we cannot see the number. So you're still going to get that percentage, right? But let's go down and talk a little bit about this part here. This allows you to filter the pools. So basically these are the tokens that you're going to borrow from other people. So one of the things that you have to think about is when you borrow these tokens, you're going to be shorting that token. So you want to borrow the token that you think will go down in price. You don't want to borrow a token that you think is going to go up in price. So for example, if I press BNB and I were to go to any of these, right? Let's go to this one, these two down here. So basically, if I'm borrowing BNB, I think BNB is going to go down in price versus BUSD, so versus the US dollar, right? Now this is a little bit different. If I borrow BNB, I think it's going to go down in value versus Wi-Fi. So the comparison of these two tokens, not the US dollar, it has nothing really, well, it does have a little bit to do with US dollars. It's the US dollars of both of them. But it's, if this goes up a lot and this goes up a little bit, then I will still be gaining some. It wouldn't be a terrible thing to short versus Wi-Fi if Wi-Fi went up quite a bit. But this is important to understand, because basically what it's going to do, if you come here, let's open one of these and I will show you. Let's open to farm. So the first thing you want to do when you open, you want to find out what are you going to borrow. So if I borrow BUSD, that means I'm shorting the US dollar. So I'm kind of longing this BNB versus the BUSD. So it's the first thing you want to look at. Oh, what am I going to borrow here? Okay. So as you can see, I borrow the BUSD and then I sell some of the, well, I use some of the USD to buy up BNB. And then the BNB will go up in value, hopefully. And then when I try to sell the BNB, I will be able to pay off my debt much faster. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining this. If you really don't understand leveraged LPs, I suggest you to come and read this article. Read it a couple of times. It will make things very clear for you. They have very good examples in here. And if you still don't understand after this, you can hit me up on Telegram and I'll try my best to explain it to you a little bit better. But I don't have time to explain everything in high detail here. So let's go to another pool, another pair instead of BNB BUSD. And this time let's choose Cake BNB and go to farm. So when we look at the top, we see, oh, if I open this position, I will be borrowing BNB tokens. So now you can see I can come here with BNB tokens, or I can come here with Cake, or I can come with both of them. But I have to, it'll balance things out for me. It'll sell some of them and balance it out and make my LPs for me 50-50, okay? Okay, so another very important thing is that you can decide how much leverage you want to use. So down here you can see I can change it to 1.5, I can change it to 2, and I can change this to 2.5. Now some of them go all the way up to 6%. So this is important. If you bring one BNB here and you borrow 2 BNB, then in essence you have 3 BNB worth of LPs open. And this is important because it's basically giving you more total APY, because as you can see, this APY changes. If I click here, it changes, it goes up quite a bit, because I am basically putting myself more in debt. However, I will be farming more Cake and more trading fees and so forth. But you have to watch this. You have to watch your kill ratio and your debt and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into all how to run this, how to use this. This is something that you're going to have to look at in your time. But just know that you are basically having the option to leverage your tokens, and that's what makes this protocol so powerful. So in this case, if I'm going to borrow BNB, I want the BNB price to go down in reference to Cake. So because I'm going to be using some of this BNB to buy some Cake. So I want the Cake to go up in value. So later when I have to pay off the amount of BNB I borrowed, I'll be able to sell some of this Cake for the BNB and close my position in a profit. So it's kind of complicated. You need to basically watch the graphs, watch the price action of these two tokens, and make sure that you are within a profit. Now it basically breaks everything down for you quite well. Remember that these trading fees are a little bit off, right? So we can't trust it completely, the numbers right now, but I've found them to be pretty accurate, and it does close it down quite easily all by itself. Let's go back to my positions. Okay, so let's just choose this first position here. Let's say I wanted to close this for whatever reason I felt necessary. I would click the close, and then it would come in here and it will break everything down for me. And it's quite good. You can go through these numbers carefully when you're here and when you're trying to figure it out. You could pause the video and look at it more carefully, but basically it does show me right down that I would end up with this much USDT in my token, in my wallet, because I have to pay off my BUSD. I borrowed $6,000 and I have about, 7,000, 8,000, about 8,000, right? So I would end up with this many USDT tokens, and if I didn't do any trading, but if I decided, oh, I want BUSD back, it's going to sell everything back to BUSD and give me this much BUSD. Okay, so it depends on what you came with and what you want when you leave. You can decide which is better for you, if you feel comfortable holding this token, or if you want to trade back to the token that you are borrowed and so forth. So yeah, I think it's quite useful. It's very, very accurate and very helpful to give you all this information right here when you're trying to decide whether or not to close the position. So the docs are very good. I would suggest you to come and read the docs. The community is quite nice. The mods are helpful and they answer all the questions and stuff like that. So you can check out the Telegram and all of these Discords and so forth. And I really suggest you come and read this. This will give you a very good understanding of what it means to use this for shorting or longing tokens and so forth. Okay, so I hope this has been useful. I'm not gonna, I don't have time to get into this very, very deep and explain every little number, but I hope it's piqued your interest and you decide to come and check it out a little bit more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.